All right, let's jump right into this explainer. Today we're looking at the definitive reign of a literal court icon, Serena Williams. You know, when she stepped away from tennis after the 2022 US Open, she didn't just retire. She wrapped up an era that fundamentally reshaped how we even look at athletic dominance. So we're going to walk through the numbers, the milestones, and the legacy of a player who totally redefined her sport.
23, it's just a number, right? But man, this single number tells a massive story right out of the gate. We're talking 23 Grand Slam singles championships. That represents the absolute most major wins by any woman in the Open era. It's a staggering benchmark that practically defines modern tennis excellence.
So it really begs the question, how exactly does an athlete from Saginaw, Michigan build the most staggering resume in modern tennis history? How do you transform from a kid with immense potential into a global icon who inspired millions and brought so many new fans to the sport? Well, to understand that, we need to break down the anatomy of her career.
Which brings us to Section 1, the definition of dominance. Just look at her defiant longevity here. I mean, it's wild. She first conquered the world, hitting that world #1 ranking back in 2002 as a 20-year-old. And then, a full 15 years later, she was still holding that absolute top spot, becoming the oldest #1 in WTA history at age 35 in 2017. Maintaining that level of elite physical and mental execution for over a decade and a half? That's basically unheard of in professional sports.
And here's what that sustained excellence actually looks like on paper. She held the world #1 ranking for an unbelievable 319 weeks. That includes a 186-week consecutive streak, which, by the way, ties Steffi Graf's all-time record. Throw in a massive 858 career singles wins, a crazy 74.5% win rate in finals, and 73 total singles titles, and you really start to see the inner workings of a true champion.
Moving right along to Section 2, conquering the Grand Slams.
Now, her dominance definitely wasn't confined to just one surface. Far from it. From her very first major triumph at the '99 US Open against Martina Hingis, she spread those 23 majors across all 4 premier tournaments. We are talking 7 titles on the hard courts in Australia, 7 on the grass at Wimbledon, 6 back home in New York, and 3 on that notoriously tough clay at Roland Garros. She quite literally proved she could beat anyone, anywhere.
And then she pulls off something so incredibly rare they literally had to name it after her, the Serena Slam. She managed to hold all 4 major titles simultaneously from the 2002 French Open straight through to the 2003 Australian Open. And if that wasn't enough, over a decade later, she proved her staying power by doing the whole shebang all over again from the 2014 US Open to the 2015 Wimbledon.
Add in her 2012 London singles gold medal, and the historical context just gets even deeper. With that Olympic victory, she officially joined Steffi Graf as the only woman in the history of the sport to achieve the ultra-rare career Golden Slam, winning all 4 major titles plus an Olympic singles gold. Just unreal.
But the dominance wasn't just on the scoreboard, it completely shattered financial ceilings too. $12 million. Think about that for a second. That is what she earned in prize money during her 2013 season alone. It made her the first woman to ever cross the $12 million mark in single-season earnings, fundamentally redefining the compensation ceilings in women's tennis.
And well, she definitely earned that paycheck with a nearly flawless year. Her 2013 campaign featured a jaw-dropping 78-4 win-loss record. She scooped up 11 titles that season, securing major victories at both Roland Garros and the US Open. It easily stands as one of the most dominant individual seasons we have ever witnessed in the sport.
But, beyond all the sheer numbers are these moments of just absolute, unbelievable human endurance. In 2017, she actually won a Grand Slam final against her own sister, Venus, at the Australian Open, all while pregnant with her first child. I mean, no way, right? It's an absolutely iconic achievement. And remarkably, after returning to the game post-pregnancy, she reached another 4 Grand Slam finals, just forever chasing excellence.
Let's pivot a bit to Section 3, the formidable doubles duo.
Because we can't forget that across her entire career, Serena formed one of the sport's most terrifying doubles partnerships alongside her sister. Together, they just steamrolled the tennis world side by side, racking up 14 Grand Slam doubles titles. They even knocked out their own non-calendar year Grand Slam from 2009 to 2010 and captured 3 Olympic gold medals together as a team. What a powerhouse. And here's a crazy fact for you. There was actually an overlap. She spent 8 solid weeks holding the co-world #1 ranking in doubles alongside Venus, while simultaneously dominating as the #1 ranked player in singles.
Being the undisputed best in the world in both formats of the game at the exact same time? Yeah, that really speaks to her total mastery of the court.
Finally, we arrive at Section 4, Legacy Beyond the Court. Long before she ever hung up her rackets, Serena was already building this massive legacy off the court. She completely expanded her influence into the fashion world. She dove headfirst into venture capital by launching Serena Ventures. She focused heavily on philanthropy, including founding 2 secondary schools in Kenya. And of course, she built a beautiful family with her husband, Alexis Ohanian, and their 2 daughters, Olympia and Adira. Her drive for success absolutely does not stop at the baselines.
So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a final thought to ponder. We've seen the 23 slams, the mind-boggling longevity, the doubles dominance, and her expanding business footprint. When an athlete elevates a game to this unprecedented level and inspires millions around the world, does their reign ever really end? Thanks so much for diving into the numbers with me.